Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm going to do something I've never done before. I've never heard of it before till I saw it at Porter Road Online Meat Company. This is a beef belly. I've done pork belly, but never beef. The only place I've seen it is at Porter Road. And I'm going to put me some salt and pepper full spare ribs on there today. I'm using my 20x42 offset smoker, and I'm using post oak today. So I'm going to take these out of the packaging and get them a little cleaned up, and I'll bring you back. Okay, I'm back. I've got the pork spare ribs. This is a full set of spares, and it's even got the breastplate still attached to it. So I'm going to take the breastplate off. You get down there in that cartilage, and you can feel it. You make a cut in here, and move that cartilage like that. Come on, buddy. And there you have it. I'm gonna peel this meat off of here and keep it for breakfast. So, there is quite a bit of fat on the back side of this guy that I'm gonna trim off with this skirt. Good meat. I'm gonna save it for breakfast too. And then there's some fat that you can pull up that'll almost come off. I'm just going to cut that away. Like this. Then I want to make sure on the edges there's nothing hanging off that's going to burn. Like that. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. What I'm going to actually do today is I'm going to cook this full spare. I'm not going to cut it off like St. Louis because I want some big, big, juicy ribs. What I am going to do is make sure there's no edges sticking out. Nice, clean edge. Oh, and by the way, this is the first time I've used a disposable cutting board. I got it on Amazon, but they sell it for Cosmos Q. Cosmos Q has these throwaway cutting boards. Okay, that looks pretty good. What I want to do here, and I'm just going to score. I'm not going to remove the membrane. I'm just going to score it. Like that. Okay. Now there's a little piece hanging off here. Cut that off. That's good, that's good. Oh, look how pretty that is. There is one piece of fat down here on this end, there always is, that needs to come out. Like that. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Okay, what I'm going to do is get a rubbing tray and put these spare ribs on there. That's a full-size spare rib. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to trim up this beef belly. It's got a huge fat cap on the back. So I'm going to trim some of this up and I'll bring you back when I'm done. Okay, I'm finished trimming up the beef belly. Trimmed a lot of fat off the fat cap. And I've got my ribs ready to go. What I'm going to do is put a little mustard on there so it'll hold the rub. On the ribs, I'm going to do salt, pepper, a little garlic powder, and celery seed. That's from Harry Sue. He uses that a lot, so I added a little bit for these ribs. I hope they come out real juicy. I'm gonna put a good coating of rub on them. I've been wanting some salt and pepper ribs for a long time now, and I just had on my offset, and I just hadn't, it's been too hot. It's still hot, but I'm gonna do them anyway today. So turn that back over. Let me get my rub here. Get it shook up real good. And if I can find the, oh, oops, right there. All right, here we go. All right, let's turn them over and do the other side. This pepper will grab that smoke and hold on to it. Looks good to me. Ready to take that out to the pit. Oh yeah, look at that. Now, on this beef belly, my wife came home yesterday with a rub. She got it at HEB, and we tasted it. It's called True Texas Barbecue, and it's called Sweet Texas Heat Rub. So we tasted it. It has a little sweet and a little heat at the end. So I'm gonna put it on this beef belly and see how it comes out. So I'm gonna put a little mustard on this guy too to hold that rub. Now look at the marble meat on this side of this guy. They're saying this meat is really rich. That looks good. You cut it real thin like bacon, just like you would pork belly. All right. Let's put some of this on. Put it on pretty thick. I think I'm gonna cook it with the fat side down, like that. That looks like it's ready to go to me. Got my fire burning out there in my offset. I'm gonna take them out and set them on there and then just watch the fire. And I'm cooking with post oak today, so I'll bring you back when I'm taking them out to the fire. Okay, I got my fire going here in my offset. I'm gonna go ahead and put these guys on. I'm gonna put I have my fireboard hooked up here to tell me what's going on in the pit, so I can sit in the house and tell how hot it is or how hot it's not. So we'll put these ribs right back there. Put this beef belly right here. Alright, I'm gonna let these go for a couple of hours before I even come look at them, so I'll bring you back. Okay, it's been almost 3 hours. I'm gonna take a look, see how everything looks. Ooh, that looks good. Yeah, those ribs I could probably wrap those here pretty soon in foil and finish them off. That bark's still a little wet here. It needs to set. I'll be back here in a minute to take those ribs off and put them in foil. I'll bring you back. I'm gonna take these pork ribs off now. They're ready to wrap in foil. So let me see here. Oh yeah. Those look really good. Oh, and they're heavy. Oh yeah, that bark set up really nice. All right, let's take them in the house. Let me wrap them up with foil and some butter and put them back on the pit. Okay, I'm gonna take my trusty towel and grab these ribs. As you see, I've got butter and I'm gonna lay them meat down in this butter. Just like that. Push it down a little bit like that. These things are bigger than I thought they were. I've got this foil double. Nice and tight. I'm gonna go back on the pit for a while. Maybe 2 hours, maybe. I'll bring you back when I take them off. Okay, I'm gonna take another look at this beef belly and see if that bark is hardened. It's getting there. See how dark it is? Maybe another hour and I'll wrap it in butcher paper. Alright. Put another log on the fire and I'll bring you back. Okay, I'm gonna take the beef belly off the smoker. Take it in the house and wrap it in butcher paper. It's got a nice bark set on it. I still need about 20 more degrees on the temperature. Oh yeah, that's... And you see this little prop I use to keep the fat from pooling up on the bark. So let me shut this up. Take it in the house and wrap it up in butcher paper and I'll bring it back to the pit. Okay, I'm gonna wrap this beef belly up in butcher paper. First I'm gonna spray it down and get it a little pliable. And take my trusty towel and pick it up and set it down right there. Take this first fold. We got double butcher paper. Fold it over. Push it down on the sides like that. And fold it over. Like this. Tighten it up. Oops. Okay. Fold this side over. Tighten it up real good. And flip it over. And then flip it over one more time. And it's ready to go back on the pit. I'll bring you back when I take them off. Back on the pit, beef belly goes. Those ribs are coming off in about 30 minutes, 45 minutes. I'll bring you back when I pull my ribs. All right, these pork ribs ought to be able to come off. This whole cook, I have burned a really, really clean fire. All you see coming out of the stack is the heat wiggling. No smoke, just a little bit, not much. It's a really, really clean fire. So, let's pull this up. Slide that over there like that. There you go. Let's take these guys in the house, let them rest for a little bit. We're gonna slice into them. I'll see you in the house. Okay, what I'm gonna do is take these ribs and turn them over in this foil so this bark will dry out while they're resting. Then I'll pour this butter and sauce on the ribs when I'm cutting it. So they need to rest for about 45 minutes. I'll bring you back. All right, let's cut a pork rib. They rested long enough. Lift them off of there. Put them on the board here. I'm gonna pour some of this butter and juice on them. Like that. Uh-oh. Now let's cut one. That looks good. So, you think that's a smoke ring? Look how pink it is all the way around it. And look at the juice just dripping off of it. Oh my gosh. So what I have over here is some of my barbecue sauce with honey in it. It's Head Country. Oh man, look at that. Let's take a bite of this thing. I've been wanting one of these for a long time. That is a wonderful pork rib. The big spare rib. Oh my gosh. You can't beat that. That is wonderful. So, I'll be going out to the pit and grabbing that beef belly, and we're gonna give it a shot and see how it tastes. And I'll bring you back when I bring it in. All right, I got the beef belly off the pit. Sat here resting a little while in this butcher paper. I'm gonna go ahead and unwrap it and see what we got. Ooh. Ooh, wow, there's still a lot of steam coming off of it. That looks pretty damn good. But I can't pick it up yet. So, let me see. So if I pick it up, can you pull that paper out from under it?
Mm-hmm.
All right. You notice this little ball spot right here was where the fat was pooling. And so I put a block under it to prop it up to try to get it to run off. So look at the steam. It's still a little too hot for me to cut into. So I'll tell you what, I'm gonna let it rest a little bit and I'll bring you back to cut it open. Bye. Okay, it's time to cut this beef belly. I'm gonna go ahead and just cut it in half and see what we got. It's tender. Oh wow. It's rendered out like a brisket. See that fat seam in the middle? Mm-hmm. Look at the juice pouring out of that. Wow. Let's cut a slice off like that. And what we need to do with beef belly is, you see this seam of fat right here? We need to cut that away from this meat right here. This meat is really tender and juicy. So let's cut that fat away. And it leaves some nice meat there. There's still some fat there. Okay. There's some nice meat with bark. Let's give this a taste. I like that rub and the sweet and heat. It's good. This is really close to brisket. That's what it tastes like to me. Let me try a little bit with barbecue sauce. A little fat on that one I want to cut off. It's just like pork belly. It's got fat and meat. Got a really good flavor, so I'm happy with it. So overall, my Lone Star Grillz 20x42 offset did a heck of a job today, sitting back there in that heat. So if you wouldn't mind, give me a thumbs up on the video, and I'll see you the next time I'm back there cooking.